It's been a long time coming and a lot of dope running. Hustling trying to dodge these cases. No, 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 that ain't right. That ain't right. That's on the Yo Gotti side of the game. No. But it has been a long time coming. It's been a long time, a long,
Time
long,
coming.
long time coming on the Sam Cook side of the game since we have done a podcast. I think it's been over about 6 months. It's been a lot going on. It's been a lot going on in the media, and I posed the question to see if people were interested in us cranking the podcast back up, and people were interested. So, considering my situation has changed on many fronts,
Yeah.
I decided that we're going to go ahead and do this thing here. So, welcome to the Socially Conscious St. Louis podcast. I know you missed us. This is that place where we talk that talk, unadulterated, unfiltered, no holds barred. Nothing is held back on this podcast, nigga. That's who we are. You know what I'm saying? We are in the age of Aquarius, and this is the information age. The Pisces age is over. And so let's talk that talk once
I
again.
need
And
to.
it's good to be back. I missed y'all. I'm King David. I'm the host of this here shindig. But I
Yeah.
couldn't do it without my partner in crime, my BFF over here burning on the sage side of the game, author of several and still working on some more books. Rebecca always got some books that she got working on. Uh, so yeah, without further ado, my co-host, Lady R. Quarles, author
I'm
of Spiritual Betrayal, the book that ain't got nothing to do with no Jesus. Yeah. But they good, y'all. I'm telling you, they good. Now I know y'all religious folk might get mad. I know y'all religious folk might get mad because she did not mention Jesus her in her books. But not everything has to be around Jesus. If you want to celebrate and worship your Jesus, that's fine. But
Oh Lord.
there are other things outside of the Jesus side of the game, as far as spirituality is concerned. And you could pick up some good things that don't necessarily have to mention Jesus. But, a lot of us are closed-minded people, especially us black folk. We're creatures of habit. Just like, we're going to go out and vote for the Democrats some type of way. And you
Because
know
that's
how
what
that
we
goes.
believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so anyways, it has been a long time. Oh my God, it's been
It has, man. A lot of stuff has happened.
a lot of stuff has happened. A lot of
Yeah.
topics have flown by. A lot of things have came and gone. But
That is
we like
true.
to talk that talk. So how are you doing today, Rebecca Quarles?
I am good. If this sage will burn properly, I will be great. There we go.
That's
Okay.
what you get for buying that sage that's made in China.
Nah, this ain't made in China.
Should have
It's
got
it's
that. Should have got that real shit.
No, this ain't made in China. I got this from this black guy in Texas who does like healing stuff and yada yada and chakras and all that. I said I was gonna start finding out more information about this stuff because it's a lot I don't know. Especially when people get talking about like, oh, it's the age of Aquarius. I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean? So I need to
Hmm.
start looking up this stuff. I need to really start so I can know at least know what people talking about. I have been good, man. Got a different job. Um, Made a couple more pennies. Pissing off the white man, making the white man cry. I mean, it wasn't my fault, but whatever.
See, now
Like,
you're being hostile and negative.
apparently so. George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and so many of our black brothers and sisters have come and gone. And when white folks say that
Yes.
they want to try to make a difference and they want the black people's opinion, nobody else wanted to speak up out of the 300 of us that was on the call. So I have to raise my hand and say, hey, white man, you are complicit. And this is why. I mean, that's been the gist of my life. Chilling. I just been chilling, man.
Have you been attacked by any Karens lately? You know,
Of
the
course.
Karens have been on the rampage. Not to say that Karens have not been out here, because let's not forget that it was a Karen who lied on Emmett Till and had him lynched. That was a Karen. Her name is Carolyn Bryant. She's still alive, but we're going to call her Karen Bryant because she had an
Right.
innocent young black male killed for allegedly whistling at her, which she later came out and said that that did not happen. And since the system is the system, um, I mean, nothing happened. She's not getting charged. Ain't nobody coming knocking on her door trying to get at her. You know, she's living peaceful, probably sitting on the porch drinking a mint julep.
What, and you know what? They tried to say, well, she came out and said it while she was on her deathbed. Y'all said that how many years ago? This bitch is still yet alive. But Bill Cosby is, what, damn near 90 years old, and he is sitting in prison. And even though he might have did some wrong, I don't believe all the bitches, but that's another conversation for another day. He has killed no one physically, and he is still in jail. And she's allowed to sit in her white privilege and enjoy the fruits of Negroes' labor.
Facts.
Just my opinion on that. But yes, I
Snitch 9 has been released from jail.
Did you hear the most recent story on 6ix9ine?
Yeah,
When this
a
dude
dude ran up on him, was chasing him down the block for his life. The dude like, hey, bro, you dropped your dollar. Oh, boy, was shook.
Now he got 4-5 bodyguards around him because of
He
that.
had 4 or 5 bodyguards. Snitch 9 ain't nobody. He went to LA. See, he just not around the right people. You know, those New Yorkers, no disrespect to the New Yorkers who are writers, but there was a lot of New Yorkers who were complicit in allowing Snitch 9 to walk the streets and be amongst them in the blood gang side of the game. And then
Yeah.
he went to prison and he snitched on everybody. So basically, the nigga's an agent. He back out walking free because he afraid of the coronavirus. But Bill Cosby, who was involved in no gang activities, is still in prison, and he's much older than Snitch 9. So
Yep.
whatever homeboy got coming to him is what he got coming to him.
But I've met some Karens wearing that shirt that you gave me that the brother made. I'm glad that I thought about putting that. I was like, see if he can do it in red, black, and green because it does stand out more. I had a Karen come to the store and confront me about that shirt that says, I wish a Karen would. Shout out to the benefactor of this podcast who purchased the shirt for me and had it sheeped down here. She was not happy. She was like, that shirt is racist.
That's racist.
I was like, well, I said, ma'am, how can a shirt be racist? It says, I wish a Karen would. I'm like, are you a Karen? Let's talk about that. Are you a Karen? Because you sound like a Karen right now. She got pissed off, left her groceries, and walked out the store.
Did she even purchase her groceries, or she just got mad and left a whole cart there?
She got mad, left a whole cart. She got mad. Matter of fact, she left a whole cart, and she left her purse, and the cashier had to go chase her down and give her her purse.
Excuse me, Karen, you dropped your purse. Here you
I wish I would have thought to do it because that's exactly some shit I would have did. Karen, remember me? I wish a Karen would. You left your purse.
Come here, Karen. Come here, Karen. You dropped your purse. Come here, Karen.
You ignorant boy. Nigga, what's been going on with you, man?
Oh my God. What has been going on with me, man? Okay, so last time we talked, I was in a whole relationship. I am
Right.
whole single now because of some stupid shit that I did. And we're going to get into that. We are definitely going to get into that because
I was about to say congratulations, but I didn't want to be petty.
we definitely have to talk about accountability. Accountability is a huge thing with me, especially in regards to oneself and the people you interact with. I am a firm believer that regardless of what another person has done to you,
Yeah.
more often than not, you could have avoided that by making a better decision. I'm not saying if you're walking down the street and you get harassed by the police, ain't nothing you can do about that. But I'm saying, like, for every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction. And a
Yeah.
lot of times when we do things and it's not the result that we desired or the unexpected result, we tend to blame others.
Yeah.
But accountability starts at home, which brings us to the whole Megan The Stallion Tory Lanez situation. Now,
Mm.
there we don't exactly know what happened because mom's in the word, and Meg has not came out and said exactly what has happened because women, not you, Rebecca, but women tend to like to spin the narrative like they're the victim. Now,
Mm.
there was some rumors that Tory Lanez was flirting with Kylie Jenner at the club, or they was all at the club and he was flirting with her, or he was flirting with some other chicks, and then Meg had got in dude's face, and some shots rang out, and she got shot in the foot. Maybe there was multiple shots to multiple feet. I don't know. I mean, they really haven't gone on record as to explain exactly what has happened. And there are a lot of mixed feelings about that whole situation. There was a panel discussion on Comedy Hype, which is a very, very heated discussion in which a sister, beautiful, black, dark-skinned chocolate sister, had posed the question, are black women the most unprotected, I guess, person on this planet? So, Rebecca, as a black woman, I would like for you to start us off. Are black women the most unprotected out of all of the women and men in the world?
Ooh. I would say out of all of the women in the world, yes. Men, I feel, are more black men, or I feel are more unprotected than everybody. It's just my opinion, people. People may not agree.
What do you say to the people that say that's not true?
It's just my viewpoint. I feel like black women are more protected than black men, hands down. And it's not just about when we think unprotected, we think people being killed, right? We think people being beaten, so on and so forth. But there is a different type of killing and beating, and it doesn't necessarily have to be physical. It could be mental, it could be spiritual, things of that nature. So when we encompass all of that, I think that women are more unprotected as far as like every other race of man and woman. But in the world, in the society, I think in the world, black men are more unprotected as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that made sense.
Makes sense to me.
I hope it makes sense. Because I think that the world is more catered to women's feelings to an extent. Yes, there's such thing as male chauvinism, yada, yada, yada. We all know that, right? Amongst the relationship between man and woman. However, I do think that in the black community, men are taught to love your woman, reverence your woman, tell her thank you for dinner, tell her happy Mother's Day, tell her this, tell her this, tell her that. but men don't get that same type of love, care, and devotion. I feel like the way that black men are treated by everybody in the world, black women are treated like that by everybody else.
Men got a barbecue on Father's Day. Women get everything on Mother's Day. Father's got a barbecue. Honey, go on barbecue for us. Hey, I thought this was my day. Why I got a barbecue? And you get to go to the hometown of Maristar and Harris on the buffet side of the game.
I got to cook for me for my day. Okay. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that's just the baseline of it. You're going to have some people that's not going to agree. You're going to have people like, this bitch, she a dumb bitch because we women, we are raped, we are brutalized, and we look how they portray us in the media, and look how they portray us in music videos, so on and so forth. But that ties into accountability too. Like, you can't be portrayed as something if you don't have somebody willing to raise their hand and say, I'll do it. Right? And I hope that makes sense. So it's almost like if men say that, if a man was to say that, he would be looked at as weak or lesser than. And that's what I mean by, like, as far as a man's heart, his emotions, his feelings, the way he thinks, how passionate he is about certain things, men in that respect are the most unprotected, in my opinion. I hope that makes sense. I'm pretty sure you're going to have people who's going to call me a couple dumb bitches, and I can deal with it. I've been called worse.
Makes sense to me, buddy. Makes sense to me. Out of the women, black women are hands down the most unprotected. However, correct, black men are the most unprotected entity on this planet.
Okay, so we agree.
But the reason why I say that is because women are made to feel like they're infallible in this system. So you have Meg The Stallion, who may or may not have got in Tory Lanez face, which was probably above his head because, you know, he's a short little guy.
Yes,
so
he is.
Probably had to bend down to get into his face if that's what she did. And somehow, some way, she got shot in her feet.
Yep. Both feet, allegedly.
Right, allegedly. Now, I'm not saying what happened right. I'm not saying what happened is wrong. It's a constant ebb and flow of the decisions that we choose for ourselves. Now, show me where there's a male equivalent to Bill Cosby. How can you come out 20, 30, 40 years later accusing this man of raping you, even though you went to his house multiple times on multiple occasions? But how can you accuse this man of raping you? Where's the male equivalent of Me Too? Where are the males coming out and saying, oh, this woman molested me and this, that, and the third? Because we look at it completely different. Women.
I mean, you got a point. It's men out here who get raped. It's men who out here that get molested. All of that. Yeah, you're right.
Even though you go to his house multiple times. Women can have babies, and instead of taking care of their own kids, they can go right downtown or uptown, depending on where you at, and go right down to the welfare office and get you some WIC checks. You can get you some welfare and some Section 8. And that's not to say a man cannot get those things, but women
is lucrative, and they will look down on most men who do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Abuse the system. Black women especially now, if this does not apply to you, black women, please do not take offense about what I'm about to say. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. But black women are complicit in the system of white supremacy. Will call the police on you for not getting out of their house, which is what happened to me. Black women will call the police on you for trying to beat your kids. Black women will go downtown and add some more child support onto your shit because they're mad y'all not together. Black women will go to their lawyer and try to get your child's father in jail because he overpaid for some child support. Now, this is a true story.
Out of Houston, Texas.
It was a brother. He paid his child support on time every month. Something happened. He found out that he may have owed $3,000 or somewhere in that figure range of child support. So you know what he did? He paid that child support, which come to find out later on, his lawyer found out that he didn't even owe. Now they trying to lock this black man up for overpaying on his child support. So you mean to tell me that if I don't pay my child support, you're going to take my license. Now I can't drive. Now I may or may not be able to get to work. And so I can't hustle because I ain't got no license. If I don't pay my child support, you throw me in jail for not paying my child support. But you mean to tell me if I pay my child support, if I'm there for my child, everything that I'm supposed to do, and let's be clear, child support is not the all the end all. You still got child support is to help the child, but still, you know, you still need shoes and clothes and stuff that he or she gonna need when they at your house. They still gonna need food and other things. You know, they still gonna need money for soccer practice, basketball practice, football practice. You know, they still gonna need money for dance class and these things here. So you mean to tell me that a black man can't be there for his child, he in jail? But when he there for his child, you want to throw him in jail?
They say that he was in contempt of court. According to the law, according to what I feel, it don't make no fucking sense. But according to the law, they basically said that he was in contempt of court and that they sent him orders and he should have been paying his child support and no more than that. And then they said that they also sent him orders about how often he can go see his kid, and he decided to do basically, it's like, oh, well, we told you what to do, but you did what you want to do. So this is what we're going to do because of that. Now you're in contempt of court because you're going outside what we said we would do. But the man said he never got any orders in the mail. It's almost like the state is saying, we tired of giving you money. Like he's overpaying, and this when he overpays, instead of them having the baby mama give the money back, the state has to pay that money back. So the state is saying basically, we tired of paying you because you're deciding to overpay. So there's a penalty for overpayment instead of charging the mother because she's the one that got said benefits. Why are you not telling her to send part of that payment back? Or if you do pay him, still make her pay. Morally of the court, I don't think morally and ethically this man should have to face 6 months in jail, which just starts a vicious cycle. You're going to send this man to jail for 6 months. He's going to lose his job, which is going to put him in arrears, which is what he's been avoiding the entire time. So that by the time he gets out of jail, he going to be so far behind and he ain't going to have no job and he going to have to start from scratch. He gonna have nothing. It's just, to me, it's just a vicious cycle. I think it's bullshit, but whatever.
You know, show me the man who killed his woman over some cheating issues. Not to say that it doesn't happen, but women, especially black women, cannot control their emotions. when you get mad, all rationale goes out the window. It really does. I seen this video of this chick who ran her boyfriend over twice. Dude was
Yeah.
laying in the parking lot in a puddle of blood.
She spit on him.
For what?
He cheated on me for 18 years, and you spit on the man, and then you hit him with the bumper that came off your car. And you knew he was a hoe.
What about the chick who just set dude Jeep on fire?
Man, yeah.
Where's the man who goes around breaking females' windows and slashing their tires? I haven't seen. You know, black women have been programmed to believe that I don't need no man. Yes, you do need a man. If you do not, then God would have created you to be asexual and you would be able to reproduce by yourself. But you cannot. You need one sperm and one egg in order to have a life. You need a man, just like man needs a woman. But where's the accountability? All the females be like, oh, yes, queen, yes, that's what he get for cheating, yes, girl. That's what he get for open on his child support, girl. Yes, queen, yes, queen.
I asked my team that question. Everybody in my team, like I sent the question to my team and told them about the story. And everybody in this chat, all 17 of them, was thoroughly pissed. Like, to the point where we had to like step aside and do a team meeting so people can decompress for 45 minutes. Like, everybody was pissed. Like, how the fuck do you lock a man up for doing what he's supposed to do? They were thoroughly pissed.
There's a guy who, Facebook friend of mine, who outlines black women's complicitness in the system of white supremacy. Because in the system of white supremacy, the black woman is over the black man, which goes back to the old plantation mammy. Y'all remember? I don't know, some of the old heads probably remember the old Tom and Jerry cartoons.
Yep.
Where you used to see that heavy set black mammy beating time with that Thomas. Used to be.
Oh, I hated that bitch.
That is that stereotypical plantation mammy who was above the black man. Black women are used knowingly and unknowingly to keep the black man down in a system of white supremacy. This brother has had 2 failed marriages. And he details how his first wife, he had 2 kids with, they not even haven't been together for a long time, barely even want that man to see his kids. His kids be like, can't call him on the phone. She won't let them talk to their father, boy and a girl. Won't let them talk to their father. This is a black woman. His son emailing him on the sly. Dad, we miss you. We don't like it here. We want to come live with you. Woo, 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 woo. And I see that he a great father. When I see, you know, when he do have his kids, man, they always taking trips and they just seem so happy together. You know, kids can't fake it.
Yeah.
Kids can't fake the funk, and they seem like they so happy. But you know, and he outlines and he details, and I mean with his second wife too. I don't think he had any children with his second wife, but he outlines how a lot of the women around them, the grandmas, the mothers, the aunties, was encouraging that type of behavior, all of them were black women.
That's sad.
But a black man can't do what he's supposed to do without somebody running some type of interference. So, back to the Meg situation. Guarantee there was something that Megan could have done differently to avoid getting shot. Not saying it's right, but her decision decision to do whatever she did caused her to get shot. Now, on the flip side of the game, a lot of men were saying like, well, you promote, you single, you don't need no man, you got your own money, your own house, you know, hold your own nuts. That's what a lot of men was feeling like, hey, hold your
Ooh,
own.
I ain't seen none of that.
Oh yeah, I seen it. The man was like, "Hey, this is what you promote in your music," and the women always making excuses. Well, that's just a persona. She's rapping like that. She not really like that in real life. Okay, let's just say she's not like that in real life. How come you could not be the persona of someone else? Like, look at Lauryn Hill, you know, like a Summer Walker. Hell, even Missy Elliott don't do that type of ratchetness. So the persona that you choose to have, as far as a rap career or some sort of artistry is concerned, that's generally a piece of you. You know, I call myself King David, not because I necessarily called myself King David, but there was some little old ladies who used to call me King David, and it just kind of stuck. I feel like I'm a king in my own right. I feel like I'm a boss, so I'm King David. You dig what I'm saying? That is a piece of me. That is who I am. So all that ratchetry that her and Cardi does, oh, that's their personality.
That's their brand. That's what they say. It's just a brand.
It is a brand. That brand comes from your personality. Like 2 Chainz. Look at 2 Chainz. All the gold, the jewelry, the expensive clothes, the cars. He was doing that before he got famous. His personality. He things, and he liked those things before he got to be a huge rap personality. That's who he is. Lil Wayne being a drug addict, that's that nigga personality. When that nigga said, all lives matter, my life matters to my bitches. That's how that nigga really felt. You can't make excuses for that.
Yeah.
You did it. Now, you're like, well, Dad, you going in on the women. What about you? Okay, let's get on me for a second. I do stupid shit too, right? So, despite better, I gave up my apartment, moved in with my ex because she had a house. Stayed there for maybe 5-6 months. We had our ups and downs. I moved out. Man, we had a big fight and argument. She like, keep that same energy. I'm like, bet. I'm out this bitch. Came back. As a result, we got into it again. And as a result, I got locked up. As a result, I almost got shot. As a result, I lost my TV, my PlayStation, my games, some movies, mattress and box spring,
some pistols,
stand, some shelves, couple of guns. Actually, damn near all my guns. Because 2 guns came up missing, which were family heirlooms. I should have left them in my garage, but I didn't do that. Now they're missing. Now they're gone. I'll never get them back. So 2 family heirlooms got taken. And because, let's just call it like it is. Homegirl was mad because I broke her heart. I get that. However, that does not give you the right to take my pistol and shoot at me. So now I have an ongoing court case because of that. Because of the poor decision that I made, I was forced to quit security because my license is suspended pending the end result of the case. And due to the coronavirus, Everything is moving expeditiously. No, not expeditiously. Exponentially slow.
Mm.
I did that. I have to own that. That set me back. I'm not even so much mad about the fact that she shot at me. I'm not even so much mad about the TV and the PlayStation, although I had that PlayStation for a good 7 years. I had movies, music, I had pictures on that joint, and I had playlists. Like I've had this PlayStation 3 since
You had a good
like
playlist on that PlayStation.
2012,
Yep.
2013. Like I had built a catalog of items and music and different movies and stuff that I have downloaded or gotten a file or whatever. All of that's gone. I'm not tripping about that. But I lost my job behind that BS. So that's my fault. I left. I chose to come back. I chose to give out my apartment despite me knowing better. I knew better. I knew better. I knew better. I knew better. I know what a woman does when she feel like she got a little power over you. And you need to get out of my house. I would have left with no problem. I said, hey, I ain't leaving without my stuff. I get my stuff, I put it in my truck, I'll bounce. I'll find me some place to stay. I get another apartment, I'll sleep in my truck, I'll do what I gotta do so I can get back on my feet. But because of that, I was forced to do my business full time, which realistically speaking, I'm not even bringing in enough income to be able to support myself.
Mm.
And I tried. Oh, I tried. And I'm still trying. Don't get me wrong. I'm not giving up on my dream of being a full-time entrepreneur. But that income that I had was
Mm-hmm.
sustaining my lifestyle while my business was growing, while I was getting more customers and more jobs. I could have been part-time. Yeah, I probably would have went down part-time. I probably would switch from mornings to evenings, doing some part-time work, doing security. But now I can't even do that.
Mm.
I'm trying to find me another job so I can get out of where I'm at now and get back into my own place. And so I can do a lot of things. Like, if I still had my job, let's just keep it a buck. If I still had my job, my truck would have been fixed. I would have been had tires on my truck. I would have been had that steering alignment. I would have been had the things that I needed to do on that truck. Been been done it. But because that situation happened, that set me back financially. In which that's a hole that I'm still trying to climb out of because of her irrationalness when it comes to her feelings and her emotions.
And you know what's sad? Some women won't even take accountability that they were irrational. You hear women, and I was just talking to a friend of mine yesterday about this. I say, sometimes when it comes to women, we'll say, well, yeah, I did shoot at him, but he did this. I'm like, that's not full accountability. Full accountability is when you can say what you've done without placing blame on the other person, regardless of what happened in the situation.
Exactly. Exactly. So accountability starts at home. I have to take responsibility for the things that I done, regardless of what she did, because I'm the one that decided to move out of my apartment. I knew better. I always known it. I've never moved, and I always said, Rebecca can attest to this. She's known me for a long time. I always said I never move in with female, and I did it in. And what I said would happen happened.
I tried to get you to keep it. I was like, are you sure you don't want to keep it? You
And I
was like,
should
nah,
have.
it would be good financially. Then I'm like, well, okay, I understand.
And truth be told, I came out of more money living with her and her
Mm,
in her house than I had in my house. Rent was $375. Her mortgage was $500.
mm.
My electricity was probably like $50, $60 a month. Her electricity damn near $100 a month. Maybe more than that, partially because she got that young man. Not gonna say, but partially because she got that young man basically just living there playing the game all day. Barely wanting to go to work, but that's It's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about accountability. So, again,
Yeah.
you have done something differently in order to avoid getting shot. Now, it was just another video in which I sent to Becky about this young black kid. He looked like he about 14, 15. Broke into a shop, not once,
Mhm.
twice, but 3 times. Broke into it
Yep.
3 times. And the third time, the owners were still on the premises inside of the building. And when he came in, he didn't realize that they was in there.
And he said, looked at him and said, "What's up?" That's what he said to him. What's up?
And a lot of people was like, well, and I mean they beat dude like they didn't beat him like to a bloody pulp or nothing like that. But they beat dude ass. And some people's like, well, they could have gave that brother a job. I'm like, wow.
I saw that comment.
So they can rob him again. Dude, like, well, I would have robbed them 10 times more if they had did that to me. But you did that. He decided to break in there not once but twice but 3 times, and he got what's coming to him. And this one girl was like, well, what if that was your son? What would you do? First of all, that wouldn't be my son. I don't get like that. My son would be working with me, learning how to be an entrepreneur, learning how to be a hustler, not stealing from folk.
Mm-hmm.
Especially our folk. If you steal from somebody white, well, I might turn a blind eye, get your reactions. But you stealing from us. And the thing about it is, women don't understand because they feel that they can raise a boy to be a man, and you can't do that. Just like a man cannot teach a girl how to be a woman. I don't know nothing about bras and panties and girl sizes and shirt sizes and stuff. I don't know nothing about that. I'll be honest with you. I don't know nothing about that. I don't know how to do your hair. I don't know nothing about that. I cannot raise a girl child to be a woman. But you cannot raise a boy child to be a man, because there's going to come a point in time in most boys' lives where they get to smelling themselves. When they get to be about 16, 17, your testosterone running in your body, your little dick getting hard, you might be getting wet at 16, 17, you done got you some pussy, you feeling like, I'm this shit, and you gonna buck up against your daddy or your uncle or somebody in your family. You gonna buck up against somebody in your family, and that's when your pop's gonna be like, okay, little nigga, take these motherfucking gloves and get in the yard right now. A woman can do that. When he get 12, he practically damn near can overpower his mom, but he wouldn't do that with his daddy. He wouldn't do that with his uncle, or at least a male, a strong, heterosexual male influence in his life. I know several people who have had to take their sons in the yard and body slam them. I know people who have had to put on the gloves. Son, put on these gloves. You want to be a man? You want to be a man? Okay. All right. You want to be a man? All right. Get out in the yard. Let's box it out. You want to be a man? Let's box it out. Or if it comes, hey, little nigga, get out of my house. You want to be a man? Well, you can be a man outside the house. Get the fuck out. Mama be like, no, that's my baby. No, Lord Jesus. Oh, take me now to it. And the man gonna be like, look now. Look, go sit down. Go sit down now. This is my son. I'm gonna deal with this. Take your ass in that little room and go sit down. I'm dealing with this. He doesn't disrespect you or me in this household. A woman would allow that. A lot of women, especially a lot of black women, treat their sons like they goddamn husband. That's mad when when Junebug them get caught up in somebody's store trying to rob somebody. My little Junebug, you'll be seeing them on the news. My little Junebug didn't do nothing wrong. Nigga, Junior got a whole rap sheet, been in and out of juvenile. and all this petty theft and this,
He
that,
got
and
a
the third.
rap sheet as long as somebody's body before he turned 17. Listen, when we tried that and he called himself trying to buck up, he tried to buck up at Regis and he looked at me for help. I stepped over his body and kept walking. I can't do nothing for you, sir. I can't do nothing for you. Like, you call yourself trying to buck up and swing and get mad and roar, and you got that ass handled. It is what a TI is. I do agree with you. It is a lot of women that be like, no, I've seen it. Don't touch my son. I literally had to tell somebody when this man was trying to have a basic, it wasn't even about the dude bucking up. It was about him just having a basic conversation with his son. And the woman was trying to figure out how can she, because sometimes when women, we get kids now, we get a singular mindset sometimes. How am I going to raise my son and tell my son this? And you got a man in the home. And I had to say, but that's not for you to do. Because you don't know how it is to be a man and you don't know how it is to be a black man. Let your husband handle that. Sometimes we as women have to be able to relinquish control as it pertains to raising black boys. We have to be able to relinquish control. Yes, you carried him for 9 months. Yes, you gave birth. Congratulations. However, you will not be able to do it without a man. And you don't know what it's like to live the day-to-day experiences as a man, more so as a black man. You don't know what that's like. The most you can do is raise your son how to be a good person. You cannot teach him how to be a man. That's just my opinion.
That was a fact. So now, my thing is this. I could tell the dude didn't have no father figure in his life, which young black men, I'm not going to say most. I'm going to retract that. A lot of young black men do not have black father figures in their lives. You know, the system has locked a lot of our black fathers, uncles, brothers, big brothers. Because even a big brother be like, little nigga, you're not going to disrespect moms like that. I'm about to beat your ass, bro. You're not going to disrespect moms at all. That's what you're not going to do. You know, even a big brother figure might be locked up in jail. So I understand what the system has done to us. But again, accountability starts at home. So little dude broke into the shop not once, not twice, but 3 times, and he got his ass whipped. You lucky they didn't kill you. Because I done seen young black boys down there get killed for less. I remember this is a black store owner. This is a little dude, I think his name was Darius. He stole something out of the store. Black owned little corner store. Bodega for some of you people up north, you know, northeast. A bodega, corner store. Man, he came out with that fofo. Walking down where that little motherfucker went. Nah, he went that way after that. We ain't seen him. So, you know, you gotta learn accountability. And my thing is this. Y'all sitting there caping for the little boy. That ain't right. Well, it ain't right that he's stealing from somebody. And he did it multiple times. Like any criminal knows that you do not hit the same place twice within a short period of time. Like, you're not gonna rob the same bank twice. Like, it doesn't work like that. You're bound to get caught. That's just like if somebody break into my house. Now I'm looking for somebody to break in my house. I'm on high alert. I got them things waiting. I'm waiting on you to break into my house because I'm on high alert. And then when you talking about dude said he had stole about $10,000 worth of merchandise, that's a lot of money. So they didn't kill the young man, but I hope that serves a lesson to him to say that you got to be accountable for your actions He decided. He could have said no. Whoever coerced him, or maybe did not coerce him into doing that, he decided to go in that shop and rob them folk. And he got what's coming to him. Like, y'all got, that's why I be telling people, don't have sympathy for me. Oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Woo, woo, woo. Nigga, you can say that when one of my family members died. But don't say you sorry to me for some dumb shit that I did. Oh, I'm sorry you had to go through that. No, don't be sorry. I did that on my own. I chose to give up my place and move in with old Gail, and I got what was coming to him. I don't feel sorry for myself. Do I like it? No. Do I hate the fact that I'm losing, have lost thousands of dollars in income? Yes, I am mad about that. I really am.
Mm-hmm.
But I did. I made those decisions, and based off of those decisions, bad things happen. And I can't blame nobody but myself because I chose that. Even knowing better, even the ancestors, you know, your first mind, your elders used to say, go with your first mind. Well, that's the ancestors. That's God talking to you. That's that spirit talking to you like, hey, don't do that, nigga. That's 5 out of 10.
Right.
And I
Right.
did. So people wonder why I'm so hard. Like, oh, you too harsh. You need to have some sympathy. Sympathy for what? You chose to do that. It's just like you choose to do the Sambo shuffle at your job. You know that that white man is oppressing the black people at your job. You included. He done talk to you slick all type of times. But it's your decision whether you want to kowtow and step and fetch it, or you going to step to that white man and say, hey, look here, bro. You put your pants on just like I do. What you not going to do. Disrespect me on this job, nigga. Because I promise you, if I can't get you fired by HR, I'll catch you in these streets and beat your ass. You not finna treat me like that at all. You decide that. You ain't got the coon at your job. Being a coon is a decision. You have made a conscious decision to coon it up.
Coon it up.
So when they get done with you, you're like, well, this coon has used up all his usefulness. Let's go ahead and drop some charges on him.
About his coon minutes.
You say he used up all his coon minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a track phone?
Nigga, you ran out of coon minutes. You
ran out of coon minutes. When they decide to get rid of you, you decided to coon. So that's on you.
White people only gonna allow you to coon to their advantage up to so long, because even a white person can't trust the coon because they look at you like he'll turn on his own people. We can't trust him. Just saying.
Thanks. So I think we agree. Accountability starts at home. So regardless of what may or may not happen with Meg The Stallion, you are a product of your decisions. And a lot of people didn't have empathy for, hey, sister, I'm sorry that you got shot. I'm sure that was a traumatic experience, but you brought that on yourself.
And you got a lot of people that's going to hear this and they going to say, it's interesting how the mind works. You got a lot of people that hear this and be like, so what you saying? She deserved to get shot? And it's like, how many times do I have to say she didn't deserve what happened to her? However, the behavior, the accountability for the behavior that led her up to being in that type of situation.
Right.
So,
brother Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon has been in the news recently. Because those of you who don't know, Nick Cannon has been doing his Cannon's Class podcast, I guess it is, for a few years now. And he's had some pretty interesting guests. I mean, he had Dr. Joy the Groove. That was a fantastic interview. He had Tyreek on there. Man, I think he had Minister Nuri Muhammad. He had my brother from Public Enemy. You know who I'm talking about. Not Chuck. What's my brother used to be with Public Enemy? Professor Griff. Professor Griff. And he said allegedly some anti-Semitic comments about some Jews, and he also said that white people don't have soul or a soul because they lack melanin. And a lot of people took offense to it. They said his comments were anti-Semitic, and they said that Nick Cannon basically deserves to burn because he says some disrespectful and hurtful things um, about white people, and more specifically, the white Jewish community. We have to be specific because there are black Jews. The white Jewish community, the white Hebrew Jewish community. And Nick Cannon has since backtracked and he's apologized, and he lost his show Wild 'N Out, which he did not have the rights for.
I can't believe it.
I'm not quite sure what was going on there, like why he didn't. I mean, Wild 'N Out is super uber popular.
And it's nothing without Nick Cannon. He is wilding out. You know what I mean?
It's his child. He thought of it. It's his creation. Nobody's gonna love your creation like you will. Nobody gonna love your child like you will.
Mm-hmm.
So, Rebecca, what are your thoughts on the Nick Cannon situation? Do you think that his comments were anti-Semitic? And do you think he deserved the backlash in which he got?
No and no.
Speak on it then.
I mean, I'm just saying no and no. I feel like but what I do feel is that this was a divine, well, not divine, but I felt like they were waiting on Nick Cannon to say something that they feel was wrong. And they finally said, gotcha, nigga. And called themselves stripping everything from him. I think, in my opinion, I just feel like, to an extent, he was speaking how he felt. And it played right into the people who wanted to take the show away from him in the first place. Honestly. I kind of agree with Nick Cannon in a sense. He felt like the black community condemned him a little bit because Black Twitter drug him. And he kind of felt like his community didn't have his back. And I agree with him on that, 100%. I don't think, I'm still trying to understand what he said wrong. Maybe somebody can help me get it because I am at a loss.
Well, let us go to the Webster's White Man's Dictionary. And, if you haven't seen the Malcolm X movie, you've seen that he was really ignorant before he went to prison, and he read the dictionary cover to cover. Now, I've never read a dictionary cover to cover because I do not have the patience. However, I do think that it is important for us to look up definitions in the Webster's White Man's Dictionary to understand what exactly was going on and let us frame the narrative. So, a Semite is a member of any various ancient or modern peoples originating in Southwest Asia, including the Akkadians, Canaanites, Phoenicians, Hebrews, and Arabs. Now, they also say that a Semite is a Jew. 3, a member of any of the peoples descended from Shem, the oldest son of Noah. So, by this definition, if you figure ancient people coming from Southwestern Asia, Canaanites, Phoenicians, Hebrews, Arabs, those are all blacks. They're all blacks.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people think Arab, you think of, cats with turbans who come from the Middle East. But if I'm not mistaken, Arab really means like traveler or nomad, like a person without a home. So an Arab doesn't describe a group of people. It just basically describes a person who lives a nomadic lifestyle. Then if you are going with the Bible and said that it is descended from Shem, the oldest son of Noah, well, that would be a black person.
Now, on his Instagram page, he's been posting a lot of stuff about anti-Semitism, so on and so forth, right? So this one girl who's Jewish, she says, "My dad is Jewish, also a Holocaust survivor." Somebody named Alison Borowski. She said, "I can say I was not at all bothered by your words. Why? Because I've listed, I've listened to several interviews over the years and know you're not coming from a place of racism or hatred. You're 100% not for it. Use your platform wisely to voice what needs to be recognized. You talked several times about why respect is so important now for the Jewish and Black community because back in the day, if you did stand up against the hatred, you would get killed. So it's your job. It's our job now to speak up and put a stop for it. Any network or whatever is blind to see beyond that, and listen to all of your messages and not just this one. Then they're not worthy of your talent. Don't let this media get to you." And I 100% agree. And then you got a black person that comes and says, "Dude, how many times you gonna post about anti-Semitism, whereas Jews don't say shit about anti-black racism within the community? Stop the butt broken shit."
I don't necessarily have a problem with what Nick Cannon said. I don't have a problem at all.
Me either.
Because what a lot of said is true. I do have a problem with him backtracking and apologizing and bowing.
Yep.
And I mean, it's sad that our black community is so quick to tear down one another when we do something that we don't necessarily approve of. Now, my question is, if that was a white Jewish person in that same position saying similar things about black people, would they have apologized? I don't think they would have. Now, let us unpack this Holocaust. Not saying it didn't happen, because it did happen. Several reports have said that the number of Jewish people killed and basically in the gas chambers and whatnot is grossly exaggerated. But there's a great book I have not had a chance to read yet. But nevertheless, there's a great book by a brother named Furpo Carr. It's called Germany's Black Holocaust. He is also the author of Black Bible Manuscripts, How the Bible is Not the White Man's Book, and he's the author of Wicked Words, Poison Minds, Racism in the Dictionary. I do have that. I've read that one. That's a very good book. So, again, dealing with the dictionary, kind of got to be careful because you got to understand who wrote it. So there's a lot of stuff there. But no disrespect to the Holocaust, survivors and families of the survivors and whatnot, but they practiced that on North Africans first. They practiced on us first. Before they came to you all, they practiced with us first. Let us try it out on these North African Negroes, and if it's successful, we can go ahead and take this show on the road. So, let us not minimize the plight of black people. Oh, Lord, we was in the Holocaust, and that's just one situation that happened. We're not talking about slavery for 400 years. We're not talking about the human zoos or the colonization, which greatly still exists in Africa to this day. So, not discounting your oppression, my Jewish brothers and sisters. However, black people have and are still suffering much more and longer than you have. So you can miss me with the we was in the Holocaust. Like, okay, I'm just saying by the fact that Nick apologized, bro. You should have just stood on it, and you lost your Jewish ways. Like stand on your shit, man. Stand on your square. Hey, look, I meant this shit, and if you gonna fire me, you gonna fire me. Quite honestly, man, and maybe he still secretly wants to be friends with a lot of Jewish brothers and sisters. But if the truth offends you, then you
Mm.
need to get from around me anyways, because right is right and wrong is wrong. And if you're offended by the truth, then we don't need to be friends anyway. Bottom line, like we date a lot of closeted racists. Cause shout out to my brother Drake McIntyre. He got a radio show that he does, and I called in yesterday. Topic:
Mm.
Can you be pro-black and be in an interracial relationship? I said yes. I'm going somewhere with people. Stay with me here. I said yes, you can. But it's kind of a slippery slope when it comes to us because we feel like whenever we get some interracial sex, that we have arrived somewhere, we have gained some sort of achievement or notoriety versus them who will still practice white supremacy and still look out for their culture and their community before they will yours. So there's a lot of us who are low-key friends and ordaining these people who you kind of try not to see that they're racist, but they really are. Like it's a meme that's been floating around on Facebook for years about the sister who's laying next to a Confederate flag flying white boy while she trying to read some pro-black books. There's a lot of us out there because
Mm-hmm.
you so worried about offending somebody, but Lord knows y'all be on some get out shit. Dude thought him and his girl was cool and everything was all right until that nigga started asking for them keys. Rose, where's keys? Where's keys, Rose? Where's keys? I'm sorry, babe. I can't do that. Oh, you raggedy bitch.
I finally saw that movie this year.
What you think of it? It's good, wasn't it? It's different.
Man, listen, that movie was something else. Like I was just like, I've never watched a movie where I knew from the beginning, I was like, she looked like she on some bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't never watched a movie like that. And from even the parents, like when they had the whole like get together in the backyard, I'm like, something ain't right about these people. The entire time.
I
And
voted
then,
for Obama twice.
and then like to the extent of like them using black parts, and it just makes you wonder how much of that is really a thing. Like that's how I felt about when I watched it. I wasn't just so bad. The way how nobody, I felt like nobody talked about how slick the girl was. Like he even captured the white victim in it, in the sense of when what was the part, oh boy, Lil Rel called her looking for him, and then she was on the phone crying or some shit, like somebody was doing something to her or so on and so forth. Like her face was straight the entire time. Like it was so like, because I guess she picked up on the fact that she was being recorded. And then she just went from talking one way to being like, well, no, like she was in a panic, but her face was like dead straight the entire time. I was like, oh, this lousy bitch. Like the whole time. Like that movie was too, to me, it was too accurate.
A lot of that's real. A lot of it's real. They've always tried to use our body parts. I mean, they've made shoes and coats and hats and stuff out of our skin. George Washington did not have wooden teeth. Wood and water do not go together because when wood and water are connected, wood swells. So obviously that wouldn't work in a man's mouth. He actually had slave teeth. He had slave dentures. And so a lot of that is true. A lot of that is based in a lot of historical stuff.
And him to have that type of concept married to a white woman.
Right.
Like I love to be a fly on the wall, a roach under the table, something to be able to hear that conversation that you have with your spouse.
So basically, I was just trying to illustrate a point that a lot of us ignore the signs of those who we are trying our hardest to fit in with, and these people have been low-key making racist remarks for a long time now. So my point was on the radio show, as long as you are still about that life for your community, then that's cool, because I have a cousin of mine who's married to a white man and has been married to him for a long time now, at least about 15 years, I think. And she already had 2 black children from the previous marriage. And I mean, he raised the kids like they was his own, and they end up having a son together, whatever. But I mean, he's a good dude. Honestly, he's a good dude. There's not a racist bone in his body. It's another cat of mine. You know, he white dude. His wife is black. The kids is black. He considers them like his own daughters.
It was you. Okay.
What I do?
It wasn't you, but it was somebody you know that had, like, they took the kids out to go see the family, and the family was racist, and they turned around and came home. I know you told me that years ago, and I was like, man,
I know what you're talking about. That's my homeboy Mitch. No, that's not who I'm talking about.
Okay.
But he has mixed kids. The brother I'm talking about, I think he does have like a mixed daughter or something like that. I don't think it's by his current wife. But you know, he down for the cause, he down for the struggle. He treats her children like they're his own children. You know, he considers them his daughters. You know, that's my guy. Honestly, like, I mean, we not like friends, but that's just to say that you can date interracially, you can have friends or Asian friends and still be about your community. So I say that to say that maybe Nick is in a space to where he feels like he kind of still wants to maintain these relationships with these people who might very well be low-key racists. I don't know Brother Nick. I'm not in his situation. But I mean, I definitely don't think he should have apologized and kept apologizing because they're going to do what they're going to do regardless of how much apologizing that you do. And then I can kind of see where he would still maybe want to maintain those relationships because, I mean, it's kind of like we black folk tend to be so stuck in what we think blackness is.
Okay.
You know, we think blackness is this one or two things that could be a dashiki wearing, afro, you know, all that's like it's you cannot you can't define blackness honestly, because I mean historically and currently we have so many different cultures and civilizations of what black is or what black was. Maybe Nick doesn't have that many black friends because a lot of people don't be thinking that Nick Cannon is really like black. Oh, that's Nick Cannon. Like Wayne Brady. A lot of people don't think that Wayne Brady is a black dude because he smiles all the time and he got these shows with these white folks. But Wayne Brady is actually about that life, man. Wayne Brady is like, man, I'm black and I'm proud to be black. You know, just because I have an Asian wife or because I hang out with black people, I'm black. But that's the reason why he did Chappelle's show, because he wanted to show people that he was black. He's like, Wayne Brady's like, there's no one way to define blackness.
I was told earlier today that I am black with white tendencies.
What is black with white tendencies?
Right, because I don't. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like growing up, because I don't talk like everybody talking in the hood, and I don't listen to the same. I listen to all types of music, but if I listen to something that we associate with white people,
Right.
then you're white. So I've always been like, I had a friend, a high school friend to this day that calls me white girl. I told somebody today that I don't too much care for barbecue, and they say, "Man, you are definitely black with white tendencies."
What you mean? White people like barbecue.
Look,
They just,
because I don't like barbecue. I don't care for it.
I don't say white people love barbecue.
No, I don't care for it. But it's just. But I know white people love barbecue. It's white people out here that grill. Most of the barbecue spots out here are white owned, except for the ones on the other side of the river. But I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
if I don't eat some of the stuff, like I don't too much care for sweet potato pie. I don't too much care for dressing or turkey or whatever type of Christmas or
No,
Thanksgiving.
you ain't black. No, you ain't black, Rebecca. You are not black. You are not.
And the fact that I love greens and smoked turkey does not solidify me, because I don't eat everything else. I'm not black. I am black with white tendencies.
No, because that macaroni and cheese you be making is
That's black.
black. That mac and cheese is blackity black. Black.
Black,
Black.
black,
Who was that? What was that video? Kiki Palmer? I think it was Kiki. I'm black, 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 blackity black, 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 black. That mac and cheese is black. I'll tell you, boy, Rebecca, boy, she be, man, she be using like 18 different kinds of cheese, Gouda and Gruyere and shit niggas ain't never heard of. Gruyere,
Gruyere is fire. Mascarpone is too.
what's the what?
Get you some mascarpone cheese in your life, okay? I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I get what Wayne Brady saying. Like I understand it. It's hard. It's hard. And it's frustrating because I'm for the cause and people will look at my name and then when I start talking this black power and this and that, it's like we never would have thought. It's hard. I get it.
yeah. So maybe Nick is in that space to where he feel like he. Cause I mean, people like, oh, Nick Cannon, corny, he this, he that. And when y'all found out that he was making that Sebi documentary, excuse me, he was finishing the Sebi documentary that our late great brother Nipsey Hussle started, then niggas was like, oh, Nick Cannon black, he pro black. But then y'all still want to clown him for wearing, oh, he wearing a turban. That's that shit my grandmama wear. He trying to be an heir. Nigga, everything.
He a goofy.
Everything
Black
comes
people
from
don't
us.
wear that.
Everything comes from us. Everything comes from us.
Yeah.
Mathematics, sciences, I mean, chemistry, everything comes from us. Education comes from us.
Yep.
Everything comes from us. But we're so stuck on, well, this is what black is. It was a dude, it was a customer who thought I was white. Black dude. Somebody who I had did some work for previously recommended to him, and when he spoke to me on the phone, he thought I was white. So
I get that too.
I pulled up to the house. You know, I had my truck, trailer, got my logos and stuff. Now, mind you, my logo on my company is black, 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 black. More is black. More is a term. And it's an interchangeable term for dark-skinned individuals, but it was basically a group of people who were specifically called the Moors, but the Moor was also a term that was interchangeable for a person with dark skin. So my logo is red, black, and green, and it's got the fez on there. So people will be like, oh, you a Moor? Well, in the historical sense, yes, I'm a Moor. In the religious sense, no. He like, brother, I thought you was. He like, man, I'm glad you black, man. He like, when I talk to you on the phone, I thought you was white. I was like, yeah, my father used to get that a lot. Maybe it's because I speak well. Ooh, he speaks so well. But I mean, I do slang too. I cuss and do whatever. But when I'm doing business, I tend to keep it professional, so I don't cuss or anything like that while I'm conducting business because I just don't feel like that is professional. But am I educated? Yes. Educate means to bring out of ignorance. It does not
Yep.
mean that you have a piece of paper that says that you're smart. So, in regards to Nick Cannon, I just hope the brother gets in a healthy space. I hope he learns from his mistakes.
But I also hope that we as a people come to support each other more because they black people, and I think that's the part that hurt him the most. I think, yeah, of course, maybe financially, because Nick, the one thing people typically say about Nick Cannon is that his finances, and as far as him being a businessman, he's always been a great businessman. He never done no shady stuff. But at the same time, it's like I don't think that really hurt him as much as the fact that his own people didn't support him. I think that hurt.
Facts. We so quick to drop each other, and it's like,
We and white people to please accept me.
he didn't do no
Please.
tuning, so I don't really see what the big deal is. I still stand with Nick, and I stand behind Nick, and I hope the brother bounces back from this. I hope it's a learning experience. Like,
I agree.
there's no right or wrong when it comes to a lot of decisions that we make. They're just decisions that we have to live with the consequences that come behind those decisions, whether it's positive consequences or negative consequences. Nick, I love you, brother. I don't know if you ever see this or hear this, but I'm standing behind you, and I'm definitely putting those positive vibrations in the air. And I mean, that's all I got to say on that topic. Rebecca, do you have anything else?
No, that's it. Agreed.
Well, hey, we appreciate you all for tuning in to the latest and greatest podcast. We know it's been a while, but we're going to be back pretty soon with another heater. We only got through 2 topics today, but that's okay. I think we had a great discussion, and I hope you tune in next time. Rebecca, what do you have to promote for us today?
Nothing as of right now because I'm not promoting anything until I am like fully done with what I'm doing.
So you're not promoting your spiritual betrayal books?
I mean, yeah, it's on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles, and just I don't care. Send me the hatred. That's fine. Y'all stop talking to me about the fact that Jesus ain't in the book.
Don't
And get
you
on
be talking about my Jesus now.
get on a deeper thinking of there's more parts of spirituality besides Jesus. That's all I'm saying. And but you can always visit me on Facebook, Instagram at LadyQ1502.
I feel that. I feel that. And yes, I completely agree with you, Rebecca. You got to get past this Jesus. Honestly, you got to get past Jesus, my family, because Jesus is only about 2,020 years old. So it's like we was discussing the other day. Um, how can you teach Christianity to a people whose very existence predates all modern religion? Just wanted to pose that question. Y'all think about that. Marinate that. Hit that comment box, and all that. Let us know what you think. How can you teach Christianity or any religion to a people whose very own existence predates all modern religions? So, what could they possibly be doing wrong if they were here before Christianity? Are they going to hell? Maybe, maybe not. But I'm King David. You can definitely reach me on the Instagram side of the game at the Overweight Lover. That's the letter D O V R W E I G H T L V R. You can reach me at Moorlawn St. Louis. That's MOOR, no E, MOOR, Lawns St. Louis on Instagram and Facebook. You can catch this podcast on all major platforms: Apple Music, Spotify, Google Play, You can catch us on YouTube at King David 314 for all of the previous podcasts and replays if that's something that you're interested in. And that's all I got. So we're signing out for, today's Socially Conscious St. Louis podcast. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next. Peace.